Okay, another physical practice today. We'll back off tomorrow. Thought that guys had a really good practice today and really got after each other. At the same time with our numbers, the practice length is starting to shorten a little bit, which gives us a little more meeting time so we can focus on assignments. So we'll continue to pound away tomorrow and then get ready to go for a great challenge on the road.
I think it's safe to say Arizona State probably the most athletic team you played so far this year. When you deal with a team like that has that much talent on defense, does it make you second guess how aggressive you have been and say maybe we need to dial it back, or is it the opposite and you just say, you know, we got to go after these guys and make them adjust to what we're doing?
It'll all depend throughout the game, how it's going, how the other side's playing, how we're playing on special teams. These guys are an extremely talented team, very well coached team, very disciplined team, and you know, they're led by their front up on defense. With some really dynamic players that can change the game and really get after the quarterback.
How would you say the evolution of the offense is today?
Ours? Slow. You know, we're working on it. You know, and so hopefully we'll improve this week. I feel like we were making some strides prior to Cody's injury. You know, between the Boston College game and the first half of the Utah State game. And unfortunately, we kind of regressed a little bit, so hopefully we'll get back on track.
What are some of the main things that you're hoping to see your team improve this week?
Well, I hope that we get back to be more consistent in the passing game, make more first downs, better on third down, and then I hope on defense we create some turnovers. It's about the only thing we haven't done well the last 2 weeks on defense is get turnovers.
Does the atmosphere with a young quarterback limit like what you can call in a game versus say the past couple of weeks?
Not necessarily. You know, obviously you got to practice with crowd noise and what that means and what you do, but you know, we'll get a feel for the game as we're there. Like I say every week about how the game's going, how we're playing all three phases of the game, and part of that will dictate how the game plan's going as well.
After the game on Saturday, Kessler and Marquis said they still need to work on their chemistry. Have you seen them improving upon that during practice this far?
Well, they're working on it. You know, I think early in the year we saw all that missed time that Marquis had during camp with the injuries, and also spring show up a little bit with their time a little bit off. So hopefully that continues to progress as we move forward.
With the defense playing the way they are, do you feel the need with your coaching staff to maybe stay on them to keep it up, or is it just in them right now?
No, we definitely do. You know, we talk to them all the time about assume nothing. You know, just because what you've done the week before or the 4 weeks before has nothing to do with this one coming up. And I'm very pleased how they've practiced, how they've come out and work, and we're led on defense by those guys up front. You know, they practice nasty, they play nasty, and they get after it. They're leaders by example of how they play, and you got to do that every week because it doesn't matter what you've done before. We've seen that on both sides of the ball over the years here. Every week's different.
A couple of years ago, Robert was banged up, kind of similar to how Marquis was, one of those lingering things. What did you do then to kind of ease some of the burden off of him? And do you think you can do that, you know, some of those same things that Marquis's injuries do linger, or is this just different roster situation?
Well, I think it is a little different roster situation. That position, you know, has really been hurt. Losing Darius the other week, and then losing the two guys for the year. You know, those guys are really special players. So to have the limitations at that position already with the numbers, and then to have those injuries, you know, is a little bit different spot than we were in before. So there's not a lot of rotations going on there. And unfortunately, Marquis's play count is way up there, a lot higher than we would want it to be with where his injuries have been.
There's still a little bit of uncertainty on the offensive side of things. How much pressure does that put on the defense to continue to play well and to really step up in this game against the toughest offense they've faced so far?
Well, I don't think that it really puts a lot of pressure on them because every game's different. You don't know how it's going to go. You know, it just goes back to playing really well, like we have on defense, and we're going to have to do it again this week regardless of what the offense is doing.
How do you feel like Leonard Williams has played so far?
Phenomenal. You know, I can't imagine there's many guys like him around the country at any age, you know, seniors, let alone for a sophomore who's been here, 14, 15 months. He's a dynamic, phenomenal player that totally changes the game. And when you can change the game at a D tackle with that length that he has, you know, he's given the opposing quarterbacks a lot of issues.
Coach, when you look at the numbers, the fact that Trey's second on the team in catches, is that alarming or concerning at all?
Well, you know, I look at it as a good thing. You know, a lot of times things are said we don't throw the ball to anybody but the receivers, and now our second leading receiver is a running back. So it's good to have. I don't think we've had that in a while, a guy like him. So we'll continue to progress him in the passing game.
About Kennard, how you had spoken very highly of him through training camp. Has that carried over through the season?
Yeah, I mean, I know I kind of said it about Leonard, but Devon, I can't imagine someone playing better than he is. He's been a dominant force out there on the outside, whether it's against backs, tight ends, tackles, whoever it is. His film right now is really elite level film, what he's putting on tape. So it's great to see, especially for a kid who's been through so many injuries and position changes. Really excited for him.
Do you feel like he in some way benefited? I mean, never great to get hurt, but benefited from the fact that you had a turnover with a coordinator playing a style that allows him to do those things?
I think so. You know, obviously, had he not got hurt, I think our season would have been different last year with his pass rush ability in so many tight games like we had in so many high-scoring games. But this does benefit him from a scheme standpoint because he's doing more stuff, and I think that'll help his draft status too.
Is there anything that sticks out players here for you guys from your last visit to Tempe that you have to kind of make sure you don't want to happen this time? You got to remind guys about?
Yeah, that storm that came through for like 30 seconds. It was unbelievable. It was hot, and then it got cold, and then it was hot again. So that's what I remember.